Hello, this is Ryan Jose. I'm here recording my final for CIT260 Object-Oriented Programming, and this is my game, Escape. The first thing I need to discuss is using arrays, array lists, and enums. As you can see here in my game Escape, I have created here an array. An array is essentially a list that has a fixed length, contains primitive objects like integers, floats, booleans, characters, etc. All the objects in here must be the same type. So in here, I've made this array, and it has 9 indexes that I can put different things in. Now what's interesting is what I did with this one was I actually created this array, and then I assigned that array to an enum. This actor enum is what I have here. And these are essentially names that I've given the different ordinals or the different indexes inside of inside of this one that I was at here in the actor array. An enum has a fixed length that cannot be changed, and all the objects need to be the same type. There's another example of a list that you can use in Java that's called array list. It has a variable list length, so it can be changed according to whatever you need. May contain different types of objects, so it could have strings and different things like that inside of it. And then it can be added to and removed as you please. So it's a very flexible option. The next example I'm going to show you is of trying and catching handling exceptions. So in this example, in my map control, in the map control, I have a function that's called move up. And essentially just all that does is move the player from one location to the next one right up above it. So in this, the try, it's basically saying do this, and then if there are any errors, do this. So let me show you what it looks like in map control. So here's the move up function right here. And then, so it's going to go through all this, and then else if, and if there's an issue, throw new map control exception cannot move actor to location. This is basically right here if they're trying to go outside of the map is what this code is saying. If they're going to a spot that's less than 0 or something like that that doesn't exist on my map, then there's going to be this issue. And then it'll throw this exception, this message will say cannot move to that location. Now I'm going to talk about character streams and byte streams. Now the first one I'm going to talk about is byte stream. And a byte stream is essentially like if this is something that you need to save that you don't necessarily need someone to read. So this is an object, this is data, this is binary, this is just information and stuff like that that you need to be able to save. So an example of a byte stream is right here under our save game method here. Now what's going on is it's just taking this object, turning it into something that can be saved, or just changing the type of it. And then later, if you use the getSavedGame, you can actually go back and retrieve this object, which is really nice because that's what you want to be able to do, and you can save it as a text file and then be able to turn it from the text into a usable object. And then likewise, we have a character stream, and a character stream is different because it's a letter, and that's what it's concerned about. So it's trying to save its form, I guess is the best way to say, as a character of the alphabet. An example of a character stream can be found in our error view. So I'll just open that up. And then here you can see we're using the print writer to be able to save this as just simple text, as character, as a string, whatever you want to say. So going through here, it's making a log file of the different errors, and then here it is displaying that information. Now the last thing I need to demonstrate is that we have a working game. So I'm just going to run the file here, and then it opens up to this lovely sunset that Carissa made. Here it gives a little intro about what's kind of going on, and then it prompts you and asks you for your name. So I'll use the name Ryan, because that's my name. Enter. It says, all right, you've been warned, Ryan, and prints out the end user's name. This is not a game of the faint of heart. Have fun. Here's a lovely little fish that we made. So to demonstrate this, I'll just click on N to start up a new game. And here it gives us this lovely little, I think water, I think is what that's supposed to be. And I'll show you just a couple of things that we have in here. So I'll go to V, View Map. And then up here is the map that we have created. It may look like a lot of little characters, but out here is some ocean, and then of course you haven't been to all these other locations, so they're question marks currently because you don't know it's there, you haven't discovered it. This little X symbolizes where you are, and this is the finished location. This is where eventually the player needs to end up so that they can launch their raft in and win the game. So I'm going to demonstrate a couple little things about this. Now this is our starting location here where the X is. So now I'm going to move, which I do by pressing M, and then I'll say go down. Alright, so that happened, and now I'm going to view map. See, now the X has moved down one coordinate, and you can see this ST, that just means it's the starting location. And that's our game. So let me see, I'm going to move, and I'm going to move, I'll just go down again, I guess, whatever. So I went down, oops, sorry. I went down, and now this is going to tell me about the things that are there. And it says you are at location 417, which probably doesn't really mean too much to the end user, and that's okay. And this is a beach scene, so you're on a beach, but there are no resources here, and there are no actors here to interact with. If you go to different locations, everyone has different things there. Some have no resources, some do. Some have trees and things like that that you need to harvest. And also, some of the locations have actors that you can interact with. However, for a lot of the locations, they won't have any actors there. So what you do is you just go through and you harvest resources. You eventually construct tools once you have enough of those. And then eventually you launch your raft, and that's how you win the game. Let me see. I'll just show you a couple other things that happen in here. So I'm going to show you the view list of actors. And here it just has some information about them. It has their coordinates where these actors are located, and then a brief description of these different characters that are there. Let me see here. How about I'll also show you the resources. Okay. So here's a list of your inventory that you have. So it has a description, required, you need 3, and then different things like that. It'll kind of go through, and you can see the different things that you need to be able to accumulate to be able to launch and get yourself off of the island. So yep, this is our game. It's called Escape, and it's a lot of fun. You can kind of see here where you've moved on the map. And eventually, once you get over here to the finish, if you gathered enough resources and gone through some of the obstacles that we've created, you can win the game. And that's my game. Thank you so very much.